Okay, welcome. What day is this? Monday? I think it's Monday. So Monday, if I'm correct, it's the start of the week. It's a good thing. So let's do something a little different. I'm gonna take off my headphones because we're gonna start by take your hands and just rub them together and really feel the hands touching one another. So you've got all of these nerve endings in the hands, and you can just let them rest and feel the hands, feel the sensitivity of your hands. And let's bring the hands to the top of the head, to the kind of the forehead a little bit, and just gently stroke back and down behind the ears and down the sides of the neck. And do that a few times. And how relaxed can you let your whole head, your scalp, sides of your neck be as you do this? Surprising. Maybe you'll be surprised. I'm surprised at how tense my head gets. So we don't have to work hard. It's just by being sensitive, just by being aware, just letting that sensitivity, that awareness help to release and soften all of that we're holding there. Then let's do that. We'll do that a couple more times. This time, really pay attention to the ears. So just kind of bring the thumbs right at the tops of the ears and back behind the ears so that you can really feel all of that letting go. A lot of the time our ears are pretty uptight. And as you come back down, let the thumbs run along the backs of the sides of the jaw, then down the neck. And then just relax for a moment and feel how different that is. I hope it feels very different. Should be a pretty significant reset. To me, it feels like I had no idea how far forward I was pulling everything, and now it just gets to drape back down over the back of the head and neck so that my shoulders can relax, my back can relax, my forehead can relax. So as usual, we want to really allow for that to integrate. Hopefully this is an easier integration than others. I find this one to be easy to integrate because this actually feels very pleasant to me. But you know, your experience might be different. Maybe you notice how it changes your face. And let's do another similar thing. This time we're going to take the thumbs and bring them back behind the jaw bones, and then just draw them forward underneath the chin toward the front of the chin. So on the underside of the jaw, so behind the jaw and then under the jaw, and just draw them forward to the tip of the jaw. I've got a beard, so you can't really see what I'm doing. Hopefully I'm explaining it well. So just do that a few more times and just really let that encourage you to let go. So you notice how you're resisting that, and instead of resisting, just go with it. Just let go. Maybe you're just going to have big floppy jowls or something. Let that be the case. And then you can take one of your hands and just sort of gently, very gently squeeze and kind of pull the skin of the underneath the chin and the throat. Just gently pull forward and squeeze a little bit. So gentle, it's not, you shouldn't be hurting yourself, but firm enough that you can actually feel that you're doing something. And maybe you could roll the skin a little bit with your fingers, just a little bit. That's comfortable. Because if your skin is stuck, oftentimes our skin is really stuck. Doesn't glide well. A lot of adhesions. And if that's the case, then maybe we feel stuck. You know, because we've been taught that our emotional experience is, you can let the hands relax. Just let that integrate. When I say integrate, just notice that any impulse to do something, to adjust, to get back to your normal state, and just allow this to remain. Just allow the newness, the difference to be here without trying to change it. And just to complete what I was going to say a moment ago is that we've been taught, most of us have been taught, that our emotional self and our physical self and our memories and our thoughts and all that are separate, but in fact, not really. So if we're feeling stuck, if we say, "Oh, I feel stuck," well, where is what does feeling mean? Feeling actually is something in the body. So chances are there's something stuck in the body, and the skin gets stuck. So the skin should be able to move, glide over the body. So let's do a little bit with the wrists. Okay, so just take one of your wrists in the other hand and just gently just rotate the hand and the wrist so that I'll put it more into frame here. So you just kind of letting the skin glide a little bit over the flesh underneath the skin. So you're just kind of gently twisting. Should be gentle. It's not overly aggressive. But you'll just start to notice where it feels kind of stuck, where it's not gliding easily. And where you notice that, just allow yourself to be more present to that experience and let that soften and go. So you might have to let the hand relax a little bit more. You might have to let the elbow relax more, maybe the shoulder. You might be surprised. Gotta let everything relax. Okay, and then we can move up the arm just a little bit. So up the forearm. So you're not trying to give yourself like a rug burn kind of thing. Shouldn't be too aggressive, but let it be gentle yet firm enough that you actually can feel that the skin is starting to glide a little bit more. You can actually feel that it's starting to have a little bit more movement. You can just move a little bit up. If your clothing agrees, just move up until you can get kind of up toward the elbow. And then let's switch. Let's do the other one. And like all of these things, you can just do it mechanically. You'll get some results, I guess, but it'll be slow. Maybe more likely to be more uncomfortable that way. But if you do it with a lot of presence, so you're really present to the experience, slow it down. Feel into it, feel it, and then notice. You can pause. That's a really powerful thing. Just you kind of slightly twisting it, and there's a little bit of a, I don't know what you call that, torque there. And then just pause and notice, can I soften there? Release. And then continue. So pausing at points is a really helpful technique. You just pause and bring more awareness. And just working up the forearm. And remember, it should be gentle, so don't hurt yourself, but you should also feel something. So it's always a fine line. Okay, and then let's release. Just relax the arms and hands. So maybe, hopefully, you can feel your arms and hands more now, more alive, more sensation, hopefully more flow. So depending on various factors, you might notice might notice some tingling. That's a possibility. So whatever sensations you experience, it's likely okay. Sometimes the sensations can be because they're unfamiliar, can cause us a little bit of concern, but it should be totally fine. So let's do one more of these kinds of things. If you wish to. If you don't wish to, of course, you're always free not to. So let's bring the hands to the back of the neck. So you can just kind of let them hook over like I'm doing. They just kind of hook like this, and then let the elbows come forward. And just take a moment to relax so that your shoulders are relaxed. Let your elbows be heavy. And let the hands be as relaxed as possible. So there's going to be a little bit of effort in the hands because they have to maintain this kind of hook. But it should be minimal, right? You don't have to, it's only the least amount necessary, no more. So if you're lying down, then you'll be able to do this as well lying down, but you might have to modify the instructions ever so slightly. But hopefully you'll be able to get the same, you'll be able to understand the basic idea here. But if I'll be giving the instructions for sitting. So as we're here, we're breathing, obviously, hopefully, maybe. So you can feel how the breath is moving. Maybe you can feel how the breath moves up into the shoulders and into the neck and the upper back, into the trapezius muscles in particular, where your hands are probably hooked. And that might be interesting to notice because a lot of the time we don't have We don't really think of that part of our body moving as we breathe, but probably as you're breathing now in this position, you can be more aware of that. And as you're aware of that, you can notice actually that awareness, hopefully, begins to bring about some change. Maybe you notice that just by being aware in this position and breathing, that the upper back, shoulders, neck can start to actually soften. So you're not pulling down, but at the same time, there's this weight of the hands and the arms that's encouraging more awareness of this area on the upper back and shoulders and neck. And be aware of what you're doing with your neck as you breathe. So is your neck moving? Might be interesting to notice that. And then let's actually consciously introduce some intention in terms of a direction for the neck and the chest. Okay, so as you inhale, and here, let the breath be natural. So don't force anything. Just let the inhalation come when it does. So you don't have to do it on anybody else's schedule. But on the next inhalation, just notice that you can allow for the abdomen to relax and inflate. And then at some point, the chest starts to inflate and expand. And as that happens, you might notice that that's going to push out on your forearms a little bit so that the forearms start to lift ever so slightly. It's subtle. So that the chest is slightly rising, very slightly, but slightly rising toward the head. And at the same time as that's happening, you can lengthen the back of your neck by tipping your head slightly down and imagining that there's a little string on the back of your head that's lifting up. This is on the inhalation. So on the inhalation, the chest ever so slightly rises and the back of the head slightly is drawn upward. And then on the exhalation, you can just allow for the chest to, again, be relaxed and heavy and sinking downward, encouraged by the weight of the forearms. And of course, if you need to rest at any time, you're welcome to do so. So let's do that for a few breaths. So again, as you're inhaling, the abdomen expands, then the chest expands, so that the chest is ever so slightly, subtly lifting up toward the head, and at the same time, the head tips down, and the back of the neck lengthens because it's as if there's a little string on the back of the head that's bringing it up. And then on the exhalation, you just allow the chest to be heavy and to sink. And notice, does this allow you to let those trapezius muscles soften even more? Now, if you really wanted to take this another step further, you could, if you're sitting and you're able to do so, you could even, as you inhale, you could slightly rock the pelvis forward, just slightly. So the same, everything that I just described, but just add to that this slight rocking forward of the pelvis can help if you look down, by the way. Look down like you're looking toward your chest. And then you just relax everything on the exhalation, still looking down. So on the inhalation, it's a lot if you're doing all of it, but it's really nice if you're able to do it. The chest is coming up subtly toward the head is tipping down, pelvis is rocking forward slightly. Now, when the pelvis is rocking forward slightly, you've got to relax relax the pelvic floor, okay? Relax the abdomen. And then on the exhalation, just let everything relax, still looking down. And just do one more of those. And then on the exhalation, let the hands slide down the chest. Down the abdomen, and then let everything come to rest. We'll just let that newness integrate for a moment. So I certainly hope that you feel a lot of newness. Or let me rephrase that, the appropriate amount of newness for you. Because maybe a lot is the wrong thing for you, but the appropriate amount of newness for you. And if it's comfortable for you, you can close the eyes if they're not already closed. And let's take a few moments to just be with the breath. Notice how the breath has changed with this preliminary exploration that we've done. And notice that change can integrate. And in order for that to integrate, we have to be aware of the old habits. So be aware of the old habits. Maybe you might notice the habit of tipping the head back, straining in the upper back and neck. And so as you're breathing, be aware of what you discovered through that exploration so that you can allow for that newness to continue to integrate. So imagine as if your hands are still placed the way they were and you're still having that same awareness so that you can allow for the breath to travel in this way that further releases the unnecessary effort so that the back, the neck, the shoulders, the chest can all remain supple and become even more supple. And that change in the breath, the shape of the breath, the sensation of the breath, you can notice that change will produce or trigger associations for you. So you'll have thoughts and images and memories that will tell you something about this experience. And it may say, this is really lovely and I like this, or it may say, I don't like this. I'm not able to breathe correctly. So whatever the case may be, just be willing to be with the experience and continue to allow the newness to be here so that you're not rushing to judgment, because often we just rush to judgment. We just assume that what our conditioned reactions tell us must be the truth. And we hold up as evidence, well, I just don't feel right. I don't feel good. I don't like it, and therefore it must be bad. But it can be really valuable to be willing just to be with the newness and find out. If we can give it, let's say 10 minutes, maybe we're in a better position after 10 minutes to pass judgment than we are right away. Of course, if we could give it a couple of days, that would be even better, but let's give it at least 10 minutes. And notice that the nervous system signals all of these things, and then there's all the interpretations about what it means. And notice there's an image. You have an image of yourself, an image of your body, an image of the movement, an image of the experience. And that you use that image as a frame of reference to tell you whether you're doing it correctly or incorrectly, whether this is good or bad, and how to try and adjust or fix it. But if you continue just to allow yourself to be with the newness, even if your mind is telling you this is all wrong, it's bad, it's strenuous, it's hard, I don't like it, it's difficult, you can just gently allow yourself to remain with it and just be aware of the difference. It's an important distinction between fixing or adjusting something versus releasing what's unnecessary. Because the habit of the mind is to fix or correct or adjust. It wants to take an action in order to restore the status quo. And its modus operandi is to insist that it's urgent and dangerous not to do so. And it will insist that I'm in pain and this is bad and this is the end of the world. So we can just do a reality check. And that reality check is multifaceted. First of all, what did we do? Did we do anything harmful? Hopefully you can answer that question with a resounding no, we didn't do anything harmful. And then next reality check is what am I actually doing right now? So be aware of what you're doing right now. So notice the sensations. Notice that your nervous, your mind has an interpretation of those sensations, but it's are you sure that that's the correct interpretation? And in order to find out, here's a simple test. Are you able to soften wherever you notice the sensation? So without fixing or adjusting or taking an action, can you soften? So softening produces change, but it's not an adjustment. It's not a fix. It's an inhibition of something that you're already doing. So it's a release of habitual strain. So when you really soften, then the change is very subtle and slow. Just notice where in your body are you noticing the sensation? Where is the sensation that your mind is telling you is problematic? And notice that you have this remarkable power to inhibit or to soften just through your awareness and intention. So you can direct your awareness to that area, wherever that may be, in the abdomen, in the back, in the chest, in the shoulders, in the throat, in the face, the tongue, wherever it may be. And you can just say soften silently. It's like a gentle command, soften. You can't shout it. It doesn't work like that. It has to be gentle, soft, soften. Like, it's okay. It's okay to soften. It's okay to surrender. It's okay to release. It's okay. You're held. All is well. So we have to start to have this relationship with our own nervous system like that, where we choose to bring that soothing, because the nervous system is frazzled, it's stressed, it's freaking out, it's afraid. It says life isn't safe, life's not okay, I'm not going to make it, I have to try harder. And it keeps insisting, here's all the evidence, look, it's not safe, it's not okay. And we have to be willing to take a look and do a reality check and see, actually I'm safe, actually I'm okay, actually I'm held, actually I'm supported right now in this moment. And so then we can give this gentle command, soften. It's okay. And every sensation that seems to be problematic is like a cry for help. And we can bring that soothing there by saying, shh, it's okay. It's okay to soften. And you don't have to do it all in one fell swoop. It's okay to soften a little bit. Just try it out and find out. Find out that it's okay. Keep letting yourself breathe without force, without strain. But don't be afraid at the same time to allow yourself to breathe in a new and satisfying way. So just because it's without force doesn't mean that it may not be different than what you think an unforced breath is. It might be a different shape, a different size. So wherever you meet the resistance, wherever there's a boundary in the breath, wherever there's a recoil or a fear or an apprehension or an obstacle, just be with that for a moment. Pause with that for a moment and notice, how supple is this? Because the actual boundary of the breath, as defined by the body, is a supple one. It's not a hard, rigid, fixed boundary. There's a lot of elasticity. So if the boundary seems hard or rigid, then you can know actually it's something that you're doing. It's some sort of obstacle that's been created out of habit in your nervous system. And you can bring your magical power of inhibition to soften that rigidness, that hardness. And you can just direct your intention and soften wherever that is, in the abdomen, in the back. It could be deep inside, it could be at the surface, wherever it is. So don't be afraid to let yourself breathe through or beyond the hard, rigid boundaries. Just be gentle about it, but persistent. And this is where, again, you bring that conscious awareness, and you can utilize the intellect in a good way, just to recognize. You do the reality check. Am I actually going to break myself if I just stay with this? If I just soften? If I breathe a little bit more? And hopefully the answer is clear. No, I won't break myself. So you're not prohibited from using force. I'm not saying never, ever, ever use force and always ensure that you don't. I'm saying be aware, because you're using force, it's just without awareness. And then you need to become aware of that. And sometimes we have to play with that. We maybe have to use a little bit of force and to realize what other force we were using, so that we can soften that. So don't be afraid. You can play with the edge a little bit. Just be gentle in it. And let's continue to breathe. And I'm going to direct your attention to different parts of the body. And as I do, I'll say the name, and it will be an invitation for you just to bring your awareness to that part of your body, to be aware of any sensation, and in particular, any unnecessary effort that sensation may indicate, and to use your magic power to soften. And don't worry about doing it perfectly or getting the perfect result or having 100% success, whatever that would mean in your idea. Rather, just be willing to play along and see what happens. And I'm going to go somewhat quickly, so all the more reason why you don't need to try to be perfect in it. Just be willing to play along. Left shoulder, left elbow, left forearm, left wrist, left palm, left thumb, left index finger, left middle finger, left ring finger, left pinky. Right shoulder, right elbow, right forearm, right wrist, right palm, right thumb, right index finger, right middle finger, right ring finger, right pinky. The entire left arm, from the shoulder through the elbow and wrist, all the way through the hand and fingers, and the entire right arm from the shoulder through the elbow, through the wrist, into the hand and into the fingers. Both the left arm and the right arm, all the way from the shoulders to the fingers, both arms and hands simultaneously. The throat, the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the back of the tongue. From the tip of the tongue to the back of the tongue, all the way down the throat. The inside of the throat and the outside of the throat. The back of the neck, the back of the neck and the inside of the throat and the outside of the throat, all at the same time. The forehead, the left eye, the right eye, the bridge of the nose, the tip of the nose, the upper lip, the lower lip, the chin, the top of the head, the left ear, the right ear, the back of the head, the entire head from back to front, top, all the way through the throat, the entire head, including the throat and the neck, all the way through to the right and left shoulders, all the way down through the arms and the hands and fingers, so that you're aware of the head, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and the fingers all at the same time. The left side of the chest, the right side of the chest, the left shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade, the upper back, the left shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade, the upper back, and the entire chest all at the same time. Now you can be aware of the entire head, throat, neck, the shoulders, the arms, hands, and fingers, and the entire chest and upper back all at the same time. The belly button, the lower spine, the point between the belly button and the spine, the left side of the abdomen, the right side of the abdomen, the left hip, the right hip, the left buttock, the right buttock, you can be aware of the entire abdomen and lower back and pelvis all at the same time. And then you can be aware from the head through the throat and neck, the shoulders and arms and hands, the chest and upper back, and the abdomen and the lower back and the pelvis all at the same time. The top of the left thigh, the back of the left thigh, the front of the left knee, the back of the left knee, the left shin, the left calf, the left ankle on the outside of the foot, the left inside ankle, the heel of the left foot, the top of the left foot, the left big toe, the left second toe, the left third toe, the left fourth toe, and the left fifth toe, the ball of the left foot. Now you can be aware of the entire left leg and foot all at once. The top of the right thigh, back of the left thigh, the front of the left knee, the right knee rather, sorry, the back of the right knee, the right shin, the right calf, the outside right ankle, the inside right ankle, the right heel, the top of the right foot, the right big toe, the right second toe, the right third toe, the right fourth toe, the right fifth toe, the ball of the right foot. And now you can be aware of the entire right leg all the way to the right foot. And you can then be aware of the entire body, the head, the throat, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands and fingers, the chest, the upper back, the abdomen, the lower back, the pelvis, the left leg and foot, and the right leg and foot, the entire body all at once. Become aware again of your breathing. Remember the newness that you discovered earlier on. And just allow that newness to be here. So if some of the old habits crept in, that's okay. But notice that you can remember that newness and you can allow that newness to be here again. Let your face be soft. Let your tongue be soft. And notice that if you reflect upon all of your experiences in life, you can notice that all of your experiences are mediated through your nervous system. and that your primary means for knowing or judging is actually how you feel, and that how you feel is something that you get to choose. So you have this magical power of softening, and like all magical powers, it is to be used wisely. So we could use it unwisely, inappropriately, and that would not serve us or anyone. So there are absolutely times when it's appropriate to feel tense. There are times when we need to take action. But we can use the power wisely through exercising our discernment, and then rather than allowing ourselves to be at the whim of our habits, we can choose what the appropriate response is. And now that we know how to use our magical power of inhibition or softening, we can use that when it's appropriate. So when there is actually no threat, no visible threat, no known threat, which is to say 99% of the time or more, we can choose to offer soothing to ourselves, and we can remember how to do that. So here we've discovered quite profoundly how to do that, and we can remember that. And we can know that this is a power that we can use anytime. It just requires awareness and remembering and choosing. So we can now bring this into our outer lives and integrate it into our outer lives. So you have this awareness within yourself, and we can utilize this as a blessing. So begin with a blessing to your inner body, to your organs, your bones and marrow, your muscles and your connective tissue. Bless your thoughts, your emotions, your memories. Bless your skin. Bless your home. Bless your family and your loved ones. If you have any pets, bless your pets, or any other animals who you're in the care of, bless them. Any plants that you care for, bless those. Bless your neighborhood, your town or city, your state or province. Bless your country. Bless this entire earth and all of her inhabitants, from the core to the outermost reaches of the atmosphere, all of the elementals, the air, the water, fire. Bless this entire universe, this entire existence, and all beings everywhere, knowing that there really truly is an abundance, never ending, and that the more you bless, the more that you are blessed, so that you are uplifted and enriched and made strong and well. And then when you're ready, you can begin to very slowly open the eyes. Take your time. So this was a nice way to start our weeks. And as usual, remember, it's whatever your experience, or whatever you think of your experience uh, during the formal practice. You might think, wow, that was amazing. And you might think, yeah, nothing happened. Might have felt like I was uncomfortable, whatever. Regardless of what you think, it's a very, very profound practice with far-reaching effects, and they continue to ripple through your life and through the day and through the week. And so that newness that's invited in continues to integrate into your life, and it really is as above, so below, as below, so above. So there's a correspondence between the inner and the outer. So you'll see things shifting in your inner experience as well as in your outer experience, and things that, coincidences and whatever will happen. And just know that it's all part of the healing process. It's all part of this constant return to wholeness. We are wholeness, returning to wholeness in a new way. And so hopefully many of the things that happen you can easily welcome and see as positive things, but invariably there will be things that, because this brings up the stuff that's been hidden, suppressed, there will be things that will be uncomfortable that occur, like, that's life. Don't dismay if and when that happens. Instead, celebrate, knowing that even though I don't know how this could be a good thing, it is a good thing. It's part of the healing process. And my job is just to be witness to it rather than trying to fix it. My job is to surrender to this healing process and to do what I am divinely guided to do. I don't need to think my way through it. My attempts to think my way through my life have only landed me in more trouble. So blessedly, I'm no longer needing to do that. And we can just trust that the healing is taking place, and just welcome every experience as showing you something, showing you some lesson that you've rejected until now. And now is the right time. You've everything that you need, all the inner resources and the outer resources, to welcome it and integrate it, so that your life can be blessed and uplifted in new ways, and you can be a blessing in this world too. So We're not going to have a Q&A today because I have another meeting scheduled now. As usual, though, if you do need support, you can always reach out to me. Okay. And for those who will be joining tomorrow for the Ramayana, I'll see you then. And for the rest of you, I'll see you when I do. Okay. Blessings to you all. See you soon. Bye for now.